The Maltese looks like the perfect first dog, tiny, affectionate, low shedding, and apparently made for apartment life. But what if the biggest challenge is an exercise? It's grooming, barking, and a dog that doesn't want you to leave the room? So, does a Maltese genuinely fit your lifestyle, or are you falling for the picture-perfect version of the breed? Stay with me because I'll tell you honestly who will love living with this dog, and for whom a Maltese could be a very frustrating choice. Is a Maltese a good first dog? Yes, a Maltese can be a very good first dog, but only if you want a close companion rather than a highly independent pet. Its exercise needs are manageable. It fits comfortably into an apartment, and reward-based training usually works well. But you must be prepared for regular coat care, daily dental care, possible alert barking, and deliberate training around being left alone. The biggest mistake is assuming that a tiny dog is automatically an easy dog. The Maltese is physically manageable, but emotionally and practically, it still needs structure. And the most important question isn't whether you have a large home. It's whether you have enough time, patience, and consistency, and we'll come back to that when we discuss solitude and grooming. For whom is this breed a good choice? The Maltese is a strong choice if you want a small dog that genuinely enjoys being part of your daily life. If you work from home, have a hybrid schedule, are retired, or can arrange a midday visit, this breed can fit your routine very well. It can also work for a thoughtful first-time owner. You don't need advanced dog training experience, but you do need to be consistent with house training, calm behavior, and short periods of independence. If you live in an apartment and enjoy several short walks rather than long-distance running, that is another good match. The Maltese usually needs moderate activity, not an athlete's schedule. This breed may also appeal to people who dislike large amounts of loose hair around the house. Just remember, low shedding does not mean low maintenance. Even the ideal owner must accept 3 things. This dog may follow you everywhere, its white coat requires real work, and barking at sounds outside the door may need active training. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Couch Potato Index 4 out of 5. Turbo Energy Scale 5 out of 5. Apartment Dweller Scale 5 out of 5. For whom would this breed not be a good choice? A Maltese is probably the wrong choice if you routinely work away from home for 10 hours and have no dog walker, family support, or reliable break during the day. This is a strongly companion-oriented dog, not a naturally independent breed. Think carefully if you want a dog that can largely entertain itself. Many Maltese prefer interaction with their person, and without independence training, that attachment can become demanding. This breed is also a poor match if you hate brushing, toothbrushing, or regular grooming appointments. The coat does not maintain itself, and ignoring small tangles can eventually leave the groomer with no reasonable option except a very short clip. Be cautious if your household includes very young children who grab, chase, or carry animals. A Maltese is physically fragile, and even an affectionate dog may defend itself when frightened or hurt. Finally, don't choose one because you think small dogs don't need training. Excusing barking, nipping, and indoor accidents because the dog weighs only a few pounds usually creates bigger problems later. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Self-Entertainment Index 2 out of 5. Honor Scale 2 out of 5. Grooming Salon Scale 1 out of 5. Activity and daily needs. A healthy adult Maltese generally needs around 30 to 60 minutes of physical activity per day, divided into several manageable sessions. At approximately 10 to 15 minutes of mental activity, such as trick training, sniffing games, or food puzzles. A realistic day might begin with a 15-minute sniffing walk, followed later by a short training session. In the afternoon, you could add some indoor play, and in the evening take another relaxed walk around the neighborhood. This dog does not normally need hours of running, but it does need more than access to a sofa. Without appropriate stimulation, you may see more barking, restless following, attention-seeking, or difficulty settling. Avoid forcing a Maltese to run long distances, and be careful with repeated jumping from furniture. Its enthusiasm can be bigger than its body. Time for a mini-quiz. Let's check if you're paying attention. Guess what is the most overlooked Maltese grooming tool? Nope, the most overlooked Maltese grooming tool isn't for the coat. It's a toothbrush. Daily toothbrushing is one of the most valuable habits for this breed, while delayed care can lead to painful extractions. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Couch Potato Index 4 out of 5. Turbo Energy Scale 5 out of 5. Apartment, house, and solitude. The Maltese is one of the more practical breeds for apartment living. It is small, does not require much indoor space, and can meet its physical needs through regular walks and indoor activities. But the biggest apartment issue is not exercise, it is sound. Footsteps in the hallway, elevators, neighboring dogs, and closing doors can trigger alert barking. Blocking the view, rewarding calm observation, and teaching the dog to settle on a bed can make a major difference. A garden is useful for toilet breaks and supervised sniffing, but it is not a substitute for walks. Leaving a Maltese alone in a garden does not fulfill its need for social contact or mental stimulation. As a practical estimate, a well-prepared adult may manage approximately 3 to 5 hours alone. Some tolerate less, while some stable individuals can occasionally manage longer. Puppies need shorter absences and more toilet breaks. A regular 8 or 9 hour working day without support is not an ideal arrangement. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Apartment Dweller Scale 5 out of 5. Garden Myth Index 2 out of 5. Honor Scale 2 out of 5. Self-Entertainment Index 2 out of 5. Children and other animals. A well-socialized Maltese can live happily with children, but there is one important condition. The children must understand that this is a living animal, not a soft toy. The dog should never be chased, squeezed, woken suddenly, or carried around the house by a young child. Interactions need adult supervision, and the Maltese should have a protected resting place where nobody disturbs it. This breed often fits better with calm, dog-aware older children. With very young children, the greater risk may be accidental injury to the dog through dropping, stepping on it, or rough handling. Many Maltese can coexist successfully with other dogs, especially after controlled socialization. With large dogs, supervise play carefully, because even friendly physical contact can injure such a small companion. The breed can also live with cats after a gradual introduction using gates, distance, and safe escape routes for the cat. And here is the myth. A cute family dog is not automatically endlessly patient. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Patience with Children Scale 3 out of 5. Dog Diplomat Index 4 out of 5. Cat Tolerance Scale 4 out of 5. Grooming Health and Costs. You know, the bowl does not fill itself. If you enjoy our movies, please donate. You will find the donation link in the description and the pinned comment. The Maltese has a long, silky single coat and usually sheds very little. That earns it an excellent fur in the home score of 5 out of 5, but the grooming score is only 1 out of 5. A long coat should be checked and combed daily. A shorter puppy cut is easier, but it still needs brushing every few days, and professional grooming roughly every 4 to 6 weeks. Useful tools include a rounded pin brush, a fine and medium stainless steel comb, a small soft slicker brush, and a dog-safe conditioning spray. Daily toothbrushing is equally important because dental problems are a significant practical concern in toy breeds. All our recommendations for the basic Maltese kit can be found in the video description and the pinned comment under the video. Remember that when you buy from the stores we recommend, You pay the same, but support our channel. Documented health concerns include patellar luxation, congenital cardiac problems, liver shunts or microvascular dysplasia, dental disease, and certain inflammatory neurological conditions. Responsible breeders should provide verifiable patella and cardiac screening results. In the United States, expect approximately $145 to $330 per month, around $20 to $50 for food, $30 to $70 for routine prevention, $40 to $75 averaged for grooming, and $40 to $100 for an emergency reserve, plus supplies. Expert tip: use a well-fitted harness and ask about bile acid testing when discussing puppy health. Now let's turn all of this into one final answer. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Purina Home Index 5 out of 5. Grooming Salon Scale 1 out of 5. Veterinary Risk Index 3 out of 5. Owner's Wallet Scale 3 out of 5. Final assessment. So is the Maltese a good choice for a first-time owner? Yes, if you want a close companion and are willing to treat grooming, dental care, and independence training as essential responsibilities. This breed is easy to accommodate physically. It does not require a large house, an enormous garden, or an extreme exercise schedule. But it may require more emotional involvement and coat maintenance than its delicate appearance suggests. In our real-life breed fit score, the Maltese receives around 3.5 out of 5 points. Its strongest areas are apartment compatibility, manageable energy, low shedding, and affectionate companionship. Its weaker areas are tolerance of solitude, grooming convenience, and physical robustness around small children or rough dogs. For the right person, this can be a delightful first dog. For someone wanting a cheap, maintenance-free pet that can remain alone all day, the answer is probably no. The Maltese is easy to carry, but that does not mean it is effortless to raise. Similar breeds to consider. The closest alternative is the Bolognese. It is another small, people-oriented and white companion that works well in an apartment. It may suit someone who likes the Maltese concept, but prefers a fluffier appearance and a dog that can sometimes seem slightly calmer or more reserved. Next is the Coton de Tuileries. It is affectionate, low shedding and family-oriented, but typically larger and more physically robust. It may be the better option for someone who wants a small companion without quite the same level of physical delicacy. Third is the Bichon Frise. It is usually cheerful, sociable, and playful, and can be an excellent first dog. Like the Maltese, however, it still requires regular professional grooming, so it is not the solution if coat maintenance is your main concern. If the Maltese seems slightly too delicate or emotionally dependent for your lifestyle, watch our video about the Bolognese next. You'll find the link on the end screen when the production is ready. Don't forget, subscribe because your Maltese deserves a spa day and you deserve the how-to. Subscribe so you don't miss new episodes.